Hi friends. If you're new here, I'm Brandy. I'm a digital artist. I draw a lot of book fan art. I want to share my thoughts on a book that I just finished reading called One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I will also share some footage of some fan art that I made for this book because I absolutely loved this book. And yeah, I just want to talk about it with you. As we start to enter into spooky season, I am so excited and I'm so glad that I read this book. I feel like I read this book at the perfect time. So in this book, there are these Providence cards, and these are cards kind of like tarot cards. So there's 12 different cards, and each card has a special power. So like one card lets you read somebody's mind. Another card, you have the ability to basically control people. These Providence cards are basically the only acceptable form of magic. So there's also something called the mist, which whenever people go into it, it kind of like drives them crazy and they end up dying. So children who were playing in the mist ended up getting some sort of infection, and they would have a fever, and then once the fever broke and they were better, they would end up with some sort of magical power. This was basically a death sentence. Family members were also punished for harboring children who had been infected and had these magical abilities. We follow the story of Elspeth, who was infected as a child. She ends up with this mysterious voice in her head that she refers to as the nightmare. She basically gets roped into this plot to find all of the Providence cards because there's this sort of prophecy that if they find all 12 cards, they can actually get the mist lifted. This book is fantasy. It's got a really cool magic system. There is a romantic sort of plot, but I feel like it's kind of more of a subplot. Sometimes books that have romance in them too, sometimes it feels like the romance and the plot don't, like, they're almost like at war with each other, like they don't really go together. In this book, I feel like the romance subplot and the actual plot of the book like mesh together really well. I absolutely love the way that it's handled in this book. If you like to read more of a like slow burn or like a yearning type of book, this is really good at capturing that. A lot of books that I've been reading lately have been, you know, the second that you start reading who like the main love interest is and what's gonna happen. I feel like this book is really good at not necessarily following that viral TikTok book template that I feel like a lot of really popular books have been using right now. It feels like very unique, original story, and the romance and the writing has been handled really well. I think the vibes of this book are immaculate. It reminds me of like a Brothers Grimm fairy tale sort of book, which I absolutely love books that have their own atmosphere or vibe. Kind of like The Cruel Prince. The way that it's written is just so unique. I feel like the same can be said of One Dark Window. I feel like the writing, it just feels so immersive. Truly love it. It's almost like, as I was reading this book, I feel like I could literally see in my head what this would look like as a movie, and I absolutely love that. I just feel like that tells you like what good writing this was. I will say the only thing... Boop. I will say the only thing that kind of negative that I would have to say about this book, actually two things. I say the writing is really good. I do feel like in the very beginning, it is a little bit, sometimes it takes me a minute to kind of get into books. So maybe that was on me, but I do feel like in the beginning it was kind of difficult to understand what was going on. Fantasy books can be like that though, because you're having to learn a new magic system, all these like crazy names. So I do feel like that was a little bit tough for me in the very, like the first like 2 chapters maybe was a little difficult. But once I got past that and once I kind of understood what was going on, it got so good. The only other thing that I would say is maybe like a negative is I do feel like it is fairly predictable. There's like a specific thing that Elspeth, the main character, is trying to figure out, and it's not like ACOTAR riddle level obvious, but it is pretty obvious to me. She's trying to figure something out and it's like, it's right there, come on. So, you know, that's kind of disappointing that it's kind of really obvious. But yeah, that's like a minor thing. I don't feel like that makes or breaks a book or anything. To be honest, I think I would say that this might be my favorite book I've read so far this year in 2025, which is not super bold to say because I don't feel like I've read any like absolutely amazing books this year. I think my problem with a lot of books that I've been reading here lately is the main characters feel so cut and paste. Like, I just got done reading Silver Elite, and I feel like the main character in that book, I could cut and paste and put into Fourth Wing, and there really wouldn't be any different. Like, there would be basically no difference. They feel like the same to me. All these viral TikTok books, I feel like they have figured out what makes them so popular among readers, and they kind of just use that same formula over and over and over again. The plots themselves are different, but it's almost like the foundation or like the underlying structure is all the same constantly. One Dark Window is a 5-star read for me. I really, really loved it. I'm one of those people that if I absolutely love a book, I will go and find the Goodreads 1-star reviews just to see like what the haters are saying. And in this one, yeah, a lot of people didn't seem to like the world building. They felt like it was incomplete. I disagree. I think the world building was really well done. I'm one of those people, as long as you give me enough information to understand what's going on in this world, I'm good with that. Like, you don't have to give me blocks of like info dumping and all this random information about all these like outlying regions and like what's the political climate like and all that. Like, you don't have to give me that. Just tell me what I need to know. Tell me enough to where I can figure out what the heck is going on in the story, you know? Doesn't have to be that deep. I just loved all of the like imagery and all the like lyrical parts of the book. I just thought it was so well done and so well written. To be honest, I don't know if I've read a 5-star book this year. I just recently, kind of in the last year, got back into reading. So I have read some 5-star books like since I got back into reading, but I don't know if recently I've really read a 5-star book. And this one was a 5-star read, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I hope you guys like the fan art that I made. I needed to find a way to make this art related. If you guys like just chit-chatting about books and stuff, let me know, because I would love to make more like bookish content. I know I typically do art related videos, but I had to talk about this one. My sister typically reads books with me, and she has not read this one yet, and I had to talk to somebody about it because it was so good. If you guys also read books, if you have read a 5-star read recently, let me know, because I am on the hunt for a 5-star book. Most of my recommendations come from like Book Talk, which is hit or miss sometimes, to be honest. But yes, I hope you enjoyed watching me make some fan art of Elspeth and the Nightmare. Let me know what your last 5-star read was in the comments. I would love to know. I need to stop consulting Book Talk all the time. Clearly, we are not on the same page here. Some of the books over there on Book Talk are not terrible. It's just, I know there's better quality out there. You know what I mean? I feel like the quality of books that go viral on Book Talk tend to not be of the highest quality. And I say that knowing that One Dark Window kind of was a viral TikTok book for a bit. It's just, I feel like here in the last like this year, Silver Elite, Shield of Sparrows, which Shield of Sparrows was pretty good overall. I kind of include it in this, but it's not, it is like a step above Silver Elite and Onyx Storm even. I hate the direction that publishing is pushing authors towards to pump out the next book. Because of that, a lot of authors are using this template for writing books that just doesn't, I just want like original content, you know? Those are all of my ramblings on One Dark Window. I think this is the perfect book if you are looking for, like, especially as we get into fall weather, if you're looking for like a spooky vibes. It feels very much like almost like a Brothers Grimm fairy tale. If you have any book recommendations you think I would like, please send them my way. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!